Hi everyone, Bobbi here with Bobbi's Lawn and Garden channel. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be planting some annuals into my client's little garden here. I actually got these annuals from my other client who didn't want them anymore. It's pretty much at the end of the season, but we still been having some nice weather. So I asked my other client if they would like some of these, and they said sure. Even though it's just going to last for about 2 or 3 more weeks, they still want it in their little garden, just add a little bit more of color. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. As you can see, I have a bucket full of begonias, and underneath the begonias I have some geraniums in there too. They're still in good condition, lots of nice color, still pretty healthy. I'm going to be planting them in this little garden here, and then if I have some left over, there's the other garden up ahead that I'll plant some as well. So these plants are actually annuals, and if you guys don't know what annuals are, it's just plants that will last 1 year, whereas perennials, they'll last multiple years. So perennials will come up in the season, and once it's wintertime, they'll die down, but then they'll reappear in the next season. Whereas annuals, they'll just last for 1 season, and they usually won't come back. But I have had some annuals like geraniums. The odd time they might come back in the next year. I guess just depends on the plant, but most of the times, yeah, annuals will just last for 1 year. So these annuals that I'm about to plant, they'll probably last another 2 or 3 more weeks, but just add some more color to the garden for my other client, and it's nice to reuse them and not put them to waste just yet. First, I'm going to actually start off by clearing out this garden here. Yeah, as you can see, it has some leaves, a little bit of weeds. And then also I'll clean up some of the stones along the porch here. Just pull up those weeds. And yeah, just making this area more welcoming and adding some color and reusing the annuals. So let's get started in this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and let's get started in this video. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of begonias here, probably about like over 10. I'm gonna try to group them all in this small garden. If they don't all fit, I'll plant it in other gardens, but my goal is to try to cover this garden, just group it all together and kind of make it as one. I think that'll make it pretty nice. And then the rest in this bucket, they are geraniums. So my client wants them in a different area, so after this I'll make sure to plant those. And yeah, I know these plants won't last too long just when fall is around the corner, but it's nice to get some use of it and just add some color to the garden, and just nice to reuse it before the end of the season. So let's get started on planting these begonias, and then after I'm going to plant the geraniums. Okay, so now I'm going to be planting those geraniums now. I just have 2 of them that I'm going to be planting in this garden. It usually gets full sun in this garden, so it'll be nice for those geraniums as they require full sun for growth for a little bit. So usually when I plant, I like to, you can either read the instructions when you buy a plant from the garden nursery. Usually they have a tag of like how deep you're supposed to dig into the ground. It's what's nice about my little garden tool right here. It has like the measurements on my little tool here. It goes by inches and centimeters. So it says here 10 centimeters and 4 inches. Typically you do want to dig about like 6 or 4 inches for any plant, depending on the size. For these annuals, they're a little bit smaller, not as like a big perennial, so I don't have to dig as deep. But usually I like to follow along on my little shovel here and just to know how deep I need to go. And also typically I like to measure it based on how much soil and by the roots on the plant. So as long as the roots are in deep enough into the ground, it typically should be okay. So I'll give you a little show of what I'm going to be doing and how I use my tool to navigate that. So if I measure the roots and the soil from my shovel, from the bottom to the top, it actually is about 10 centimeters and 4 inches. So that's what I'm going to base it off of. So I'm just going to try to dig the shovel length of my tool here, and that's how far deep I'm going to be digging. So I think this is a good spot for it. Along with how deep it is, also want to make sure it's wide enough for the plant as well. So if I look at the width of it, It's about 3 inches in width, so I want to make sure that is also the same when I'm digging into the ground. This should be deep enough. As you can see, it is past my shovel length here, so it should be good to go. And the width, also the same, lots of room for it. So I'm gonna take my plant here. Sometimes it's nice to like scratch the roots so it can grow more. These are just annuals, so they won't last that long, so it's okay not to do it. But typically you do want to do that for like perennials or other plants. So I'm gonna go to dig it in, and then I'm gonna scoop the soil back into the hole and covering the plant. Just want to make sure it's secured in this area. And yeah, and there you have it. You have the annual nicely planted into the ground using and following my tool measurements and making it easier to know how deep to dig the hole. And then now I'm going to do the same thing with this other geranium. And that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was nice to reuse those annuals and just replant it into the gardens here for my other client. I myself, I'm learning each year as I go, so I'm actually kind of like self-taught and just going off of my experience of my past jobs and also just learning on the go. I did take an online course in horticultural during COVID, so I took some 5 classes and I have my horticultural certificate here in Ontario. But I think also the best way to learn is just hands-on and just on the job as well. I think that's like pretty much the best way to learn things, to understand what works and what doesn't. And every environment is different, so you kind of just have to play along with that and adapt to it. And there's so many plant names that I do not know personally, and I'm learning as I go. I really enjoy my work and I just learn something new every day. I also learn a lot from my clients, and I really appreciate them giving me advice and information as well. So hopefully maybe you learned something from this video, and hopefully I can produce more videos to help you guys with my experience of what I'm learning, and maybe show you guys a thing or two about what I'm doing in my work. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.